Hey, you guys. Welcome to season 2. I am so excited for this episode today. Shay, what's our episode for today?
I mean, if they cannot guess already,
Howdy, partner.
of course, we cannot talk about Western clothing and the Black history of Black cowboys without a special guest. So, without further ado, we need to introduce our guest, the one and only Najee.
What's up? What's up? What's
Welcome
up?
back.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Glad to be here. Glad to be back. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Ready to get started, Mo?
I am. I'm excited for this episode. This is a really, really good episode. So
It is.
I'm excited, you guys.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start. Shay, when people think about cowboys, what is the image usually comes to mind? And why is the image incomplete?
So the image that usually comes to mind for most people is a white man, a white cowboy, which has been popularized by Hollywood films. Think John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, who helped cement this image in. And the issue with that is that it erases the historical reality that there were so many Black cowboys, including indigenous cowboys and Mexican cowboys. And really, Black cowboys really is the culture,
Yeah.
you know? And so that's the problem with it. But of course, it was a way society, of course, wanted to erase our culture as the Black culture and not give us our flowers of Black cowboys, you know? So salute to all our Black cowboys, okay?
Let's go.
Yes. Okay, so Najee, growing up, what did Western style mean to you, if anything?
I guess I'm from the South, so a lot of times I didn't see this a lot, you know, and if I did see it, then 9 times out of 10, it was a Black man, and 9 times out of 10, that Black man was from like the country. And when I say country, when I'm from like the Mid-South area, that's like the parts that's like straight plains. I'm talking about like it's a lot of area. You know, it's basically like a lot of land where these folks live at, and they work outside. So if I see these Black men with a cowboy hat on and some boots, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I know where they from, and that's the representation that I would see all the time. You know, visually speaking. And other than that, I would see like my grandma watching Westerns, and that's what I thought it was too. But you know, it was those two dynamics, me seeing it in person in my own reality of those Black men, and then the other dynamic of what my grandma is actually watching, and thinking that is what the cowboy was, what she was watching, but not knowing that what I saw, you know, like sometimes was those Black men, you know what I'm saying, that was from like the quote unquote country of the Mid-South. So yeah, that's what Western style meant to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I agree. Grandma always, she used to sit there,
All
black
the
and white
time, the black and
Westerns.
white,
I used to be looking at her like,
Westerns.
but I feel like that's why I love Western style so much, because I've seen it. Like cowboy boots was my thing when I was little.
I had a cousin that used to like wear cowboy boots wherever he went. I'm talking about, you know, we was young. He had pajamas and cowboy boots on. He had shorts and cowboy boots on. Like that was his thing. But his dad was always driving him to the country with him. So like they would get in the pickup, and he was always like traveling back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, from like the city to, well, not the city, but like I guess like the area that we lived in, and then the country, you know, they was just back and forth. And then sometimes he used to just take us with us too. So I used to go with my cousin and his dad to the country. And yeah, like it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like we always used to do it, but I used to see him wearing the boots all the time. I couldn't get it, but I was just like, you know, whatever floats your boat, you know?
Yeah,
I love that example because it really showcases how Black people use clothes to tell our story. So the cowboy boots was telling your cousin's story of why he was wearing those cowboy boots.
Exactly.
And he probably was connected with an ancestor.
Come on.
Put them cowboy boots
Because
on.
you can take them cowboy boots off him. He's like, bro, try these on. He was like, no, I want to wear these.
Yeah.
Man, leave him alone.
I used to wear like Western stuff and fringe a lot when I was younger. But it could just been just something just is in our DNA.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
So, Mo, visually, what makes Western clothing instantly recognizable? Silhouette, materials, or attitude?
I say a little bit of everything. And I feel like silhouettes is like tailor fit. It often structures shoulders, define waist. Materials is denim, leather, flannel at its core fabrics. Attitude gives like a rugged, laid back vibe. And then details can be fringe, embroidered Western motif. So yeah, like the embellishments on your like little embellishments, these stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like it's everything. It's such a vibe. It's like an attitude. Like I don't know. I think it's just you definitely lay back. Like when I went to I forgot where we went. I think we went to Louisiana. And there was a guy next door. He had like a horse and stuff. He used to be on that horse, but he was so chill. And you would say hi, and he'd say hi so low. But he was, and my mom was like, "He a cowboy," and I used to be looking at her like, "What?" But he just had that laid back, like getting stuff done, hard working. That's all I used to see when I used to see him. So yeah. So
That's what's up.
So, follow up for Najee. What's the first Western piece you think of when you're styling or getting dressed?
I would say it's all based on like personal preference. So I'm a functional type of dude. I like things to like function. You know, like if I wear a jumpsuit, I want to be able to work in that jumpsuit. You know what I'm saying? So like I would say boots. I would say cowboy boots because, you know, like you always need your legs and your feet, you know, wherever you go. So when it comes to that function, you know, like these men and women worked outside the most. So that one piece I say stands out most to me. You know what I'm saying? It's stylish. You know, you could dress it up, you could dress it down, you could work in them. Yeah. Like it's stylish and functional. I mean, that's the way I see it with, you know, with the boots. And I love boots, like regardless. I love boots. Any type of boot. Boots too. Like I just love boots. Yes. That's my thing. Boots are my thing.
I'm gonna do a fact check on cowboy boots.
Yes, we love
one fact check. So, reason why they made one of the reasons why cowboy boots are so thick because they're rattlesnakes. Because they bite at their
bite.
Yeah.
That makes so
that
much
makes
sense.
So
yeah.
much
That makes
sense.
so much
Look
sense.
Yes.
That makes so much sense.
It's a biting and stuff. They all in there in the fields.
They outside.
They outside. And so it'll protect them. They bite and they're biting at because you know a lot of the cowboy boots go up here, so they're biting at your ankles. So that's why they are that height. But that's one of the reasons. It's so many different reasons why cowboy boots are so functional. But I just wanted to give that one. Yeah, I had to be a little fact today.
I love that. Yeah. Yes.
I knew I picked that for a reason. I knew I picked it for a reason.
Yeah. Shay, what role did Black cowboys actually played in sharpening or shaping Western culture and style?
So there was a multitude of things, of course. The first thing I'll talk about is they shaped the core cowboy skills and practices. What you see in the rodeo, that was Black cowboys. That was them. They taught those skills. They perfected those skills. They refined those skills to make it work. And then we were just talking about function. So it was just like Najee's example was just great because I'm like, it's going to tie it all together.
Let's go.
Because people don't realize that being a cowboy was really about the work that they did.
Yes.
And their attire came from being functional. It was not a fashion statement.
Yes.
Even though now they turn it into a fashion statement, but it goes back to wearing clothes without context and understanding. So when you said that, I'm like, there we go. Right on.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they just expanded the cultural meaning of the cowboy. So figures like Nat Love, who was a cowboy and a writer, also a Gemini, I just had to plug that, documented his cowboy life. And he showed, you know, the West as a multicultural, skilled, and communal, not just rugged and solitary. So that's someone I encourage everybody to go look up to, as well as Nat Love. Black Cowboy wrote a lot about his life, and you get an insight of the Western Black cowboy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
When did you first learn that Black people were central to cowboy history?
Oh man. I'm learning something new about our people every day, y'all. Like, oof. And it's like sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's like real joyful. You know, like I get these mixed emotions about it all the time. But the first time I ever heard about the Black Cowboy was when I watched The Harder They Fall. And I'm glad that you said about Nat Love because it's a character on there named as Nat Love, played by Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
But it wasn't like he wasn't portraying the character like in its entirety. You know, I think it was just the name. But as soon as they had those lists of all those names just on that movie, I just went down the rabbit hole and just started doing my research. So, you know, Bass Reeves, Nat Love, Bill Pickett, all these just important Black men that were cowboys. So, like, I really started doing a deep dive maybe like when Beyonce album dropped.
Yeah.
Because I think she just like give you that push for some reason.
Right.
I don't know. Like she's like the queen mother of us all. I don't know. Even if you barely listen to the person. But yeah, I just started going down that rabbit hole and just started doing just more research and about that. Cause like you know, like I tell everyone, man, they always hiding something from us about ourselves that we finding out like in our adult lives, you know, because when we was kids, did y'all hear about this? I didn't know about this. Like
No,
I said,
I didn't know. until
I
went
did, but I thought my grandma was crazy. She used to always tell because I didn't understand why she watched. I asked her, like, why are you watching Western? And she was like, because cowboys are Black. And I was like, what is she talking about?
Right.
But she used to always say it like, she was like, our history, a lot of this is our history. But she's like, music. And she used to always say it. And then when I got older, I was like, dang, my grandma is not lying. Like rock, everything, country. I didn't even know house was us.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All of it.
So
All of
she really like she would tell me, and I started really going down the rabbit hole when I was in middle school and high school. That's how I started finding stuff out. That's why people was like, why are you like this? But because my grandma hooked me on early. So, and then a lot of stuff with Beyonce, like fashion wise and all that stuff came out with Beyonce. So I do agree on that one.
Because she treated like a school project when she released these albums.
Yeah.
You know, like she have so much like just nuance of just information that she put into like all her albums because she does the studying and then she, you know, and put it out. But I can say this, when I did see The Harder They Fall, I was so excited that I wanted to show my grandma the movie. So I showed my grandma the movie. Like, honestly, y'all, she wasn't feeling it. Like, I don't know why, but I can probably guess. Yeah. Like, she didn't like Black people killing one another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it made sense.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But it kind of was like I was like, Grandma, you kind of contradicting yourself. So like you cool with white people killing Black folk? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, but you know, I mean, we got our things. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love. It's all good.
I mean, I get it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I understand. So
it's been a lot of like trauma there.
Exactly. So she probably don't want to like just relive that or see it again. So I was just like, yeah, it's cool. But I was just so excited to show it though. Like I was like, man, Grandma, you gotta watch this movie. Like,
they used to be watching these westerns, man.
They love them westerns.
They love them westerns.
They love them. But
it used to be so boring too.
I didn't really understand like our impact in the cowboy culture until I went to the Bill Pickett rodeo. Like I heard little things when I was little, like, you know, the Buffalo Soldiers, but it didn't click. And they didn't talk about it a lot.
Right.
And so when I went to the Bill Pickett rodeo and I saw, and it was like different for me because I'm like, that's not what I'm used to seeing on TV, but they looking like, no, this is us. We created this. This is normal. This is our lifestyle. And then I even have friends who actually participate in the Bill Pickett rodeo.
Nice. Okay.
You know, so
cool.
it's like this is dope, you know, but I wish I would have learned it a lot sooner, you know, but now I'm just taking it all in. And back to what you said about Beyonce, that's why when people say they didn't like the album, I'm like, you don't understand the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because of the homework she did.
Yeah.
So to say you don't like the album is almost to say you're not even with the culture part of
But
it.
you gotta think about it. They've been lying to us.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
when you get in all this new information, just like real Native Americans, real Native Americans is black people.
Yep.
It was not like at the end of the day, their black people was indigenous. They are as well, but it's black people. It was more, and now it's. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with that, but that alone. So it's been such a big like thing on social media where people are like literally fighting, going back and forth.
Yes.
But it makes sense if you really go to history, how we are come from each land we come from, and everybody come from us. It makes sense, but it's gonna be, we've been lied to, so a lot of stuff does not make sense. So you have to go research on your own, and that's why I tell people. Like I told somebody not too long ago, black people was the real natives. Go do your research. And when that person came back, they literally was like in tears because they like, I didn't even know all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, because they've been lying to us. So you looking at it like I didn't even know. So you in history class getting taught this for all these years now. Like for me, I'm in my 40s and I'm learning a lot of new stuff. Some stuff I did know, but some stuff I didn't. So people are fighting it, you know? So
that's why I tell people, the more you know, the more you don't know.
yes.
That is very true.
I mean, and that's
so
it. And that's it.
Facts.
Because like I don't care. People be like, I already knew that. And I be like, oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you really do it?
It's gonna be like a little bit more room that you can learn about it, a little bit more that you can add on to what you already know.
Yes.
So
that's why I be telling people, go deeper.
Go deeper.
Go deeper. Because I need to know. Yeah, I be acting like I don't know nothing, huh? So what else? Tell me a little more.
Seriously.
Because it's so much information, and I mean, what we came from, I could see why they would bury all that. It's so much history there, but yeah, so.
And we do have 2 books showcasing, and we will be sure to share the links as well because they're both great reads. One is Black Indians, where you'll learn a lot about the interactions with indigenous people and black people, and a lot of it is not pretty. A lot of it is not pretty. We won't get into the detail because that's not what this podcast is for. But read it because it is important. And the other book is it the Negro Cowboys? That's the other book. So we will share those. Please read those.
And I haven't got into Negro Cowboy, but the other one I'm getting into, and it is very deep. So. Yeah, but black people are the original natives. I'm gonna say that again. Just saying. So
it's on you, Mo. Okay. How do those historical roots show up in Western style today, even if people don't realize it?
So one I put on here is denim. We wear denim, and denim was originated for workwear. Black people. But yeah, so denim was made for being in the fields. Overalls, all that stuff was made for that. And so cowboys wore it. It was easy, it's durable. They wore it baggy and stuff like that. Boots, Western boots, elevated from cowboy footwear, still popular today. I love me some cowboy boots. This is one of my favorite shoe. Fringe. I love fringe. And embroidery. It is echoes Native Americans and pioneer designs. And then it says utility, functional elements like pockets, doable fabrics reflect on workwear. And then rugged athleisure. A nod to the pioneers spiked in frontier life. That one was kind of like a new one for me. But yeah, that's what shines in fashion that we didn't know of. That's Western. Yeah.
So a follow-up for Najee. Are there Western details you gravitate towards that feel cultural and not costume?
Yes. I would have to agree with Mo on this one. The denim. It's been with us for as long as we've been here. They used to put slaves or enslaved people in denim and call it slave cloth.
Yep.
And fun fact, the Wrangler brand, they bought the patent that made the slave cloth to make their denim. So the slave cloth that made the the patents that the textile mills that make Wranglers denim used to make slave cloth denim. So yeah, it's a lot.
Levi got some stuff in there too.
It's a lot of stuff weaved in
yeah.
there. Levi, Wrangler, like
Yeah.
yeah. But I would say
Levi
denim for
image.
sure because of the culture, the sustainability and durability for the rodeo shows, and just the stylish aspect of it, because denim is so versatile. Like you
Right.
could do so much with denim. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean denim all the way. Y'all know I love some denim.
I
Yes,
love
denim.
denim. Ooh, I love denim.
Denim all the way.
I was trying to do a Canadian tuxedo, but that didn't work out for a bit. I had a whole idea, but it just didn't work out.
Oh,
So.
that idea can still come to
Yeah,
mind.
it can
Come
still
on.
Got
come.
time.
It can
Yes.
still definitely.
Yes.
But that outfit, I was like, this was supposed to be built like it was. I was supposed to mix and match. It just So yeah, we love jeans.
Oh yeah.
Denim.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Western fashion sometimes get treated like a costume instead of legitimate style category?
It's similar to some that I spoke about earlier. It has been filtered through Hollywood stereotypes. So like film and media has flattened Western wear to like just hat, spurs, fringe, rather than lit functional clothing, as we talked
Yeah.
about. And its working class roots are overlooked. So people think of it as like this style, but it really grew out of labor, ranching, riding, survival, not novelty. And when the context of that is erased, the clothes lose the credibility. And that's where that costume comes in. So cultural erasure distorts the narrative. So
Have you ever seen Western style did in a way that felt disrespectful or inauthentic?
I mean, now that I'm getting older, now I'm learning more about all this stuff. I'm understanding that like a lot of the things that they wore was, like I said before, was because of functionality and just work, like a lot of ranch work. A lot of that stuff was just for ranch work and stuff like that. Like this is now is being more considered more stylish, and like a lot of stuff was based in like a lot of heritage. Right. So like the different type of shaped hats, the different type of crowns and brims. Like I didn't know it was like based on like the Mexican heritage. They have like the telescope hat. It's called a gambler hat. So it's basically like more round right here on the top, and it looked like a telescope if you look at it from like a bird's eye view.
yes.
But this one is more of like a cattleman hat. So if anything, the authenticity from this hat, I would be out there on the ranch if I was working or something like that. But yeah, like other than that, like, I just now, like I said, I'm doing more of the research. Even with wearing like the boot spurs, like the spikes on the back of the boots. Like I didn't know that was made for like the horses.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To
make them go.
And stuff like that. But even with that, because I was talking to like my wife about that, and we was just like, man, that's kind of like cruel, like how they used to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like just try to like break the horse or make the horse go, instead of just like becoming one with the horse and stuff like that, like what the indigenous people maybe used to do. But like I said, it's still some things that I'm still learning. So maybe it's some different components that I'm missing with that. But yeah, like the authenticity is, is where the folks that did the actual work and, what they wore and everything based on like their area, their proximity, and their heritage. So yeah.
I love that. Now I'm gonna go on the deep dive on cowboy hats.
Man, like for real, deep dive on all of
Yes.
it. Like,
Yeah.
just deep dive on all of it.
Yes. So Mo, what's the difference between wearing Western inspired pieces and dressing like you're in a costume?
Costumes, the hats are definitely different. Cause now she was just talking about that. The hats are definitely different. I feel like they're more like flimsy, but when you get like a real hat, they are heavy. They are heavy. They look different. They are sized. Like they don't just you just can't buy it. You know, they actually have sizes and stuff. When I went to a store in I think it was in Houston. But it's like if you bought a fitted hat, like it's actually size. Like what is you got to measure your hat. Like if you get a hat made, it's pretty much the same thing. So that denim boots, their boots are made in leather, and you usually gotta stretch it. Now I love leather, but I try not to buy leather like that because I don't know where it's coming from, and I don't know if a poor animal done died. You know, and I'll be praying over my stuff. But anyway, because I love fashion, I don't mind a little fur. You know, so fur, denim, leather and stuff. But they real authentic boots are made with leather. Period. Is to stop the snake from biting you. It's a lot of stuff you need that wear and tear. Leather is very durable, so it's more functional, and a costume is not. They do a lot of like plaid and like just a regular hat, a bandana that doesn't have like his tribal type of texture. Like it's not authentic. Like authentic wear is more like it ain't cheap. It look expensive. And it's real. It's leather, fur, like the cow, like how I had the cow print shoes. That would have been real. Like they make stuff like, maybe it wasn't like that, but they made their stuff as well, like from their cattle and all that stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to add a little extra into there,
Can I add something to that in addition?
Yes.
I think also something I read, and it Najee talked on it a little bit about the hat. The difference of the hat is most cowboys did not wear every piece that we think.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what also creates a costume.
Yep.
That's very true. Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, that is.
So
That is.
they wear what they needed to be able to function.
Yeah.
And whatever their field was or for that day. So, sometimes when we get dressed, we try and put it all on. And
Yeah.
that's where it lose that authenticness.
Yeah, that's why I kept my outfit, because I wanted to do over the top, and that's why I just kept it simple, because like it was more functional, even though it's fashion there, but a good turtleneck, stuff like that, because they wore stuff because they was cold, whatever they got there, so. And they definitely did wear fringe and stuff, but it was just more thicker and all that stuff. But it was just, I wanted to make it more real, like a real cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
So
I say a time and a place for everything.
yeah.
Right.
And sometimes they don't wear cowboy hats too, because it was colder and they didn't need it. But they wore it for that shade and all that stuff when they was out there in the field. So yeah. Everything is functional.
Yeah.
Because they was
Literally.
outside.
Yeah, they was outside.
You outside against nature. You know what I'm saying? So like, how are you gonna like be able to like function in this weather? Because there's gonna be different types of weather.
Right.
So
Follow up for Najee. How do you personally balance authenticity when wearing Western elements?
All right, so I like to balance it out by being intentional with the fit and knowing like where a certain piece from, what it's made for, and I also want to just make sure that I wear something that's like that a Black or an Indigenous person has worn before. You know what I'm saying? Because I want that, like y'all said, that authenticity. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure, like, if I see it, if they wore it and they the same color as me,
Right.
then 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna use that as a reference, because like I like that. Like I like to tell people like about the piece.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like what it's all about too. You know what I'm saying? Like people be wanting to know what you wearing, but like, all right, let's go a little deeper. Like, what was the purpose of that piece? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the origin of it? Like, why did they wear that? So yeah, so like and that's the thing too about like what you were saying about like leather and not knowing where it's from, and like if an animal has like been slaughtered for it. Well, it's a difference now because of capitalism. You know, like now, back then they was just doing it off of survival.
Yeah.
And they was one with the land.
Yeah.
And you know, like just like on, I hate to use it as an example, but you know, it's modern and people like familiar with it. Avatar, the first Avatar, when I forgot the woman Avatar name, but when she killed like the creature that was from like the land, like she prayed over it. You know, she was just like, your body is being like sacrificed, and you know your spirit is going to another realm, while you know your flesh and other parts are gonna be left here to help us on this land, on this plane. You know, so like things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's what they were doing. You know, back in the day. And we stripped that away, and now we just really focusing on like the costume, the unauthenticity, the you know, like just the like the not the realness of it, you know. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
I agree. Yeah,
Definitely makes sense. So we are coming to a close, and of course, we love it when Mo close it out. And Najee, our guest, is gonna help Mo close it out. So, Mo, how are Black creatives reclaiming or redefining Western style right now?
So, blending traditional Western elements with African design, highlighting heritage, celebrating historic Black cowboys and ranchers. And you don't really hear ranchers, so that's really cool. Modern aesthetics using bold colors, patterns, silhouettes to create fresh looks, storytelling. So just breaking those stereotypes and uplifting the Western narrative. And then the movement identifies creativity, culture, pride within the Western aesthetic.
So, Najee, who do you think is doing Western style right today?
Ooh,
That's a
man,
good
right.
question. I'm jealous. That's a good question.
That is a great question.
It's a great question.
Beyonce, of course. You know.
Yes.
Pharrell dropped a line, a collection with Louis Vuitton based on like Western style, and I'm talking about it was Chef's Kiss. Orville Peck, Post Malone, and Usher. Those are like my top.
Okay.
Yeah. Those,
I like that.
They put it on. They put it on.
We always gotta put it on. Always gotta put it on.
They put it on.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Western style isn't just about hats and boots. It's about history, identity, and how you can show up.
When you understand history, the style hits a little bit different.
And that history includes Black people at the center. We'll see you on the next episode of Fist and Fact.
Thank you.
Peace. Bow, 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 bow.